everyone. Welcome to Chart Attack. This is Vishal from Equity Guru, and today we're going to talk about oil. You can read all about me and determining whether now is the time to buy this dip in oil. That's on Equity Guru, but right now we're going to take a look at the technical charts here. And of course, all these commodities here are pulling back after basically being propped up by geopolitical headlines. If you recall, I think it was maybe a few weeks ago, I know our Discord members definitely know about this, but we talked about the fact that a lot of these commodities, not just oil, but gold, copper, platinum, palladium, a lot of them can maybe get a pretty big pullback, not just because of geopolitical concerns sort of tapering off, although I don't think they are, but mainly because there's a Fed rate decision on Wednesday, on March 16th, which could cause the US dollar to gain some strength, which would put some pressure on some of these commodities. So keeping all that in mind, looking at the chart here of oil, you can see here, big day down today, 6% down day here on US Texas, and then Brent crude is down 5.8, pretty close to the 6% level there. But oil is definitely pulling back from those highs of 130, and actually, as we are recording, we are below $100 per barrel once again, and there is maybe a bit of a support zone here at 92, but I think a lot of traders will be watching a support zone right around the $85 to $86 zone. So we're going to watch to see what happens there, and of course, if we do close back above 100, that is still quite bullish on oil. So again, geopolitical concerns that might be tapering off right now, but I think long term, we still have some issues there with energy. And then, of course, the Federal Reserve. And I'm going to do a separate video on what I think is going to happen there and what it means for, inflation and commodities in general. But let's just say, inflation could still persist, even with rate hikes. And that, I think, could still be bullish for these commodities in the long term. So expect maybe some pullback here in the short term and some volatility in the short term. But I think it presents us a great opportunity to enter in the long term. Before I sign off here on oil, one huge news that just came out today, and it has a lot of people talking. I know, a lot of big gold bulls, and I guess you could say macro geopolitical, analysts have been predicting this for years, and that is this: the Saudis are actually considering accepting Chinese yuan instead of US dollars for Chinese oil sales. And, a lot of people have talked about this and how China is going to is going to make a move like this. And even the Russians, right, where both countries might come together to try to battle that US dollar, petrodollar system, because, the dollar being the reserve currency, it is used for energy payments around the world. The Saudis, of course, are the ones that started this with the petrodollar with King Faisal back in the day. But recently, we've heard the Biden administration saying, hey, we're looking to import oil to make up for Russian exports. We're looking at Iran and Venezuela, and a lot of people are like, hey, how come not the Saudis? And apparently there's some unhappiness. The Saudis and, Riyadh and Washington aren't really getting along here, possibly due to situation in Iran. But I think this could be a game changer. A lot of people are going to watch to see the geopolitical ramifications of this, because if the Saudis are now taking yuan instead of dollars for Chinese oil, the Russians are now accepting rubles or whatever currency, euros, anything except US dollars for their oil, there might be this big shift here in the energy and the oil markets and the whole petrodollar system. So developing story. This, I think, is going to be huge for not just energy, but I think, geopolitics, and I guess you can call it the world order going forward, and this split between the Western sphere and the Eastern sphere. So keep an eye on this. I think this is like huge news, and it's always been sort of put in the back as this conspiracy theory for the gold bulls, right? For the metal bulls, but it's all coming true now with the Saudis now actually considering accepting yuan for dollars. And I know there's going to be a lot of discussion about this. But that's it for me, folks. Again, be sure to check out the article on a few oil companies and whether this is the time to buy that dip here in oil as we do break below 100, but there are still some other major support levels here that we are watching. Be sure to follow Equity Guru at all our social media links provided in the description box below. And let me know in the comments what you guys think of oil here. Do you think now's the time to buy, or do you think oil is just had this random move higher on headlines and is going to, I guess, sink back to fair value, whatever you think the fair value is, and a lot of people think it's much lower than $96 a barrel. All right, folks, I'll see you all in the next chart attack video.